So if you're running into a lot of fear objections, typically what's causing that or causing you to not being able to overcome that is we're not being able to dig deep enough and get to the prospect's real why of why they need to make the change and why staying where they're at is not acceptable. Okay. So in this video, what I'll do to really help you out is I'll be sharing a one-on-one coaching session that I did that specifically goes over that principle. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Polk. So I've been in online sales for 4 years. I've closed over $6 million in sales, anywhere from B2B SaaS to different type of coaching programs, B2B, B2C. And for the past 2 years, I've been with Seventh Level and Jeremy Miner, where I've also been a sales coach, and I've helped thousands of clients in hundreds of different industries ask better questions, overcome objections, and just make more sales. Okay. A little bit of context on this conversation. Okay. So it's going to be with Jordan, and he mostly does upsells. Okay. So not people coming in, but it's going to be how do we get this person from this level to the next level? So they've already taken action. How do I get them to take more action to get more results? And he came to me mainly wanting to focus on the objections that he was getting. But really in the session, we didn't focus much on objections just because the biggest gap and the biggest thing that was going to push him forward the most is really dialing in, like, how do I get to the real why and how do I get that future pace of why they need to take it to the next level? Because if we get that real why, it is a lot easier to overcome objections. Because if I don't have that real why, I don't have any leverage. So when I use any type of hook or I use any type of frame or I use consequences, it's gonna fall on deaf ears. So what you'll run into is a lot of, yes, I get what you're saying, but, and they still have their objection, which means we're not really speaking to their real deepest need and the reason why they need to change. Okay. And that's a lot of what he was running into. So hopefully you find this helpful. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like, drop in the comments your biggest takeaway. And if you need any specific help, like one-on-one, anything like that, you can always just reach out to me on Facebook, and I'll see you next time. Or this. But like, what exactly, I know we talked a little bit about objections. What exactly do you feel like, you need help with or you're wanting to go over?
Yeah, I guess context is since I was never fully a closer, solution awareness, consequence specifically, and then objection handling, like fear. My big
All
like,
right.
what the heck am I doing? I actually feel a little bit lost. So I've been
Yeah.
trying to use a lot of legwork and pre-handle stuff for my upsell combos.
Okay.
The main thing
Yep.
I'm getting right now is um I just don't want to do it right now. I want to keep going through the portal,
Hmm.
keep doing what I'm doing. Or another one is just fear to invest. Those main two. Like I had a upsell combo today. I said, frick it, right? Built a gap with the guy, 40 minutes. Um, and he was two objections I kind of got this today
Hmm.
and Friday last week
Hmm.
were like, I don't know where I want to be and why. So when I go to tie in how to fix that with like inner circle, to them it's just not like a need, it's a want. Like those guys that start doing better, but like
Hmm.
they don't understand why they want to get from now that they're doing 10K to like 15, 20K or
Yeah.
keep growing, you know? And for them
Well,
it's like
it's,
now they're seeing results, so they're kind of happy, and it's like there's no like huge driver.
yeah. Well, it's like if you're still able to build a numbers gap, right? That's going to be a big part of it. Like, okay, there's still a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
And then like, so in that person, like, oh, I don't even know where I want to go. Like, were you able to build a numbers gap?
Yep. So he's got a conversion rate of about 30% right now.
Okay,
Actually less when we
cool.
broke it down. So it's like he knows he can be doing another couple sales easily.
Yeah. And then so typically, so you go through that problem awareness, like, okay, why is he still losing out on these sales? Okay. Then from there, it doesn't make sense to ask him like what have they been doing before, right? So then it's just straight up like, okay, well, what do you feel like the next level is for you, right? Like where are you wanting to get to? And they're saying, like, I don't know.
Well, they'll be like, oh, well, like I'll give you an example. He's like, I'm doing 10K months and next goal is 15K. Oh, like why's that? number important to you though? Oh, I don't know. Just would be nice. And then I go into the whole uh like need versus want and
Hmm.
all that jazz, or like what would be different. And they're just like,
Yeah.
for sure, like I have more money, but they're like, it's not like a huge like I need to be there,
Okay.
you know.
S-
That's where it's falling flat.
Um, so a couple things. Number one, like when we build a numbers gap, like we also need to like build like a frustration and like the feeling,
Okay.
if
Of
that
like
makes sense.
losing that money.
Losing that, or still on 70% of their calls they're getting told no,
Mm,
right? So
okay.
it's like, I mean, I don't want to assume like 70% of the people I talk to don't tell me no. Like, so for you, so you can kind of like level them a little bit, right? Like the great things of selling salespeople, you can
Yeah.
kind of be a bit of a dick. Not too much, but you know what I mean. So, and then from there, if they're telling you like, oh, well, it's like, I don't know, like it's like a bit of a, like either one, like the goal's not big enough. Well, it's like, yeah, 10 to 15. I mean, is that like what you actually want to make, or what's a real goal? Like, so you kind of like, hey, level with me a little bit. I'm not gonna settle for anything less than like I want to double what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like scratch that goal out a little bit more, and they're like, oh, I don't know, like it's just like more money. I don't really know what that would actually do for me. And like I would just ask them, well, do you think that's the problem then? And they're gonna say, how do you mean? It's like, well, if you don't know why you actually want to get better, do you think that might be part of the reason why you're not where you feel like where you actually could be?
Mm,
And they're like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, I guess so. So let's take some time, man. I like sit there and map it out for them. So let's take some time. So for you, we're talking about like you got the 10. Like if you want to be that guy who's just content, like being 10,000 for the rest of your life, like, dude, I'll tell you right now, like keep going through the portal. This isn't for you. But if
Mm-hmm.
we're wanting to continue to improve, get to the next level, like it has to mean something. Now, what it means, like, I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter as long as I know it means something to you. So if you really thought about it, you've been able to double your income. Like, what would that actually do for you? And be real.
Yep. Okay.
So it's just like spending that a little bit extra time of like you're basically calling them out on like the way that they're viewing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they want to be, and it's more of like an identity thing too. Like if you want to be that 10,000 per month guy for the rest of your life, like I mean, go for it, right? Yeah, like the next step probably wouldn't make much sense. You kind of pull back a bit, and nobody's ever going to be like, yeah, I'll be a 10,000 per month guy for the rest of my life. That's cool. They're going to be like, no, like I can do more. They're going to want to fight that like frame that you put on them, and then with that, you then attach to, well, in order to get out of that frame, you have to view the money differently. Like it has to mean something.
Mm. It has to have a significance behind it. What is that?
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not giving it much thought. Yeah.
And if it's like, and if you're like, bro, if it just means that you are just so much happier being that guy who makes 50,000, you're better than everyone else in your office. If that's really the driver for you, like, dude, more power to you. But it's like there has to be some type of driver, or like you're gonna say exactly where you're at. I've seen it happen too many times. I don't want you to fall into that. So be real with me. Right. Again, like I'm doing it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes total sense.
Okay.
I'm gonna role
And
play
then
it.
if you get like a better solution out of it,
Hmm.
which means you're going to get a better consequence. And then the fear stuff is a lot easier to overcome. So it all stems from that.
Okay. Yeah, because it is feeling a bit shallow when I go past it and then straight into like I'm objection handling for like an hour, 30
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Because
So
you didn't get anything real.
yeah. I told one guy, I said, hey brother, like I told him that is the problem, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen it too many times where guys just stay exactly where they're at. They don't know where they want to be and why. You don't know why you want to be there. I said, I can't ethically recommend it in circle to your brother or any next steps anywhere, right? You're happy. You're happy where you're at. Sounds like it at least. And he was like, yeah, I guess so. So I was like, well, maybe I didn't do the frame right.
Yeah.
So I was
Well, it's
like,
like the thing is like
but
you want to like put it on them, like not, oh, like you're happy, it's you're complacent.
okay. Yeah, that is a difference. Okay.
That's the difference there. If you're telling him like, bro, you have no problems, and then he agrees, like a lot of people can agree. Like it's too good of a light that you're putting him in. But if you say like, yeah, bro, you're being complacent, like how many people are gonna want to agree to that?
Yeah,
Probably very little. And if they would agree
yeah.
to it, it's something they want to change. Okay. So it's like, would you feel like that's part of the problem? Like if you don't know like where you're going, like whatever it is, like that's part of the problem. And it just comes down because if you want to be that guy who just makes 10,000 for the rest of your life, like and just complacent with that, it's like I'll be the first one to tell you, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Right? You got the path to get there. Right? But if we want to get to the next level, like it actually has to mean something for you.
Hmm.
So be real. If you really thought about it, right? Get them to sit and think. Like sit in silence for 2 minutes if you have to.
Okay. Yeah, that's on me to get comfortable with that.
Yeah. And it's
Okay.
like they haven't had this conversation before. So it's totally normal for them to be like, well, I'm not quite sure. Well, we're about to get sure. Right. You can always like take them through like their ideal lifestyle as well. If that's something you really want to get into, it's like, let's take some time, man. Let's figure out like where we actually want to be. Let's say like a year from now. Like we want to have wife, we want kid, right? So you can start to like, are we wanting to, have our own place? We want to be renting. We want to be staying exactly where we're at. Like, do you want this exact same life that we have now? Or like, what would you want different? Oh, like I'd want to get a house, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can start to like help them do the math. If they want a
Hmm.
house, they're in somewhere like Scottsdale, right? Where it's like
You'd be a
five hundred
billionaire.
thousand, yeah, 500,000 plus for just a decent house. It's like you're gonna need to make a lot more than 10,000 per month.
Hmm.
You need to put 100K down, and you need to be paying 5K per month. 10K per month ain't gonna cut it, buddy.
Hmm.
That's after taxes,
Hmm.
right? So there's different things you can do, but like normally, but the easiest way to do it is just to again like call them out, like, hey, yeah, that's the problem.
Okay. Yeah, makes
And then
sense.
if and once you do get it, then if you get a consequence, that's the only way that you're actually going to get people to move in fear. Because if you're going through fear and you're going through all these reframes and you get
Mhm.
like and you're asking consequences and it's not really landing, then none of those frames are really going to hit.
Yeah, that's what's happening
Yeah.
because I'm not getting those tangibles and solution, you know. Can we role play? Can I be like the prospect? Can you do it to me so I kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
feel that? Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let's say you're at 10, you should be
Hmm.
making 20 if you're getting things down right, something
Let's
like
say I just
that.
give you like a logo,
A what?
like a logo. Like I'm like, yeah, I
Okay.
can be doing at least another 2, 3K.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, is that like the ideal income or like what are you actually looking to be making?
Um, I don't really know. If I just keep working at this here, cracking at the portal, keep getting better. I know I could at least pull another 2, 3K, but I'd say the ultimate goal eventually would be maybe
Yeah,
like 18, 20K.
18, 20. So like double.
Yeah, about double.
Yeah. Man, if we're looking to double, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Let's just have that be the goal. Like if we're looking at double, like let's just shoot for doubling. Because like what you'll do is if you're just aiming for less, what do you tend to get?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's not get less, man. Right? So but when you're saying like the ultimate goal, like get you into that 20,000 per month, like why for you is that the ultimate goal?
Um, I don't know. I always say more money is always
Yeah.
nicer, and for sure I'd get some
Yeah.
recognition. The company does these things where they
Yeah.
recognize who's like bringing in the most amount of cash, and will
Right. And
pay
like
for like your dinners and stuff. But like,
and money recognition, like that stuff's good. But again, at the end of the day, like money is just a number, right? It's a vehicle. It really comes down to like what it actually does. So for you to be able to double your income, like what difference does that actually make for you?
hmm, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it a whole
Well, if
lot.
you did think about it, yeah.
Uh, well, again, more money is always nicer, but I don't really know what I would do with the extra money.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not too sure. I'd have to think about that some more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can sit down and think about it, right? Um, I mean, it really just comes down to for you, like, and I'll be 100% frank, right? If you want to be that guy who just makes like 10,000 per month, we slowly get
Yeah.
better, hopefully things just continue to go up. If you just want to be that guy,
Mm,
like, I'll just tell you, keep doing what you're doing now. Like, we got the blueprint. But if we're wanting like a drastic change, like, we're wanting to double what we're doing, like, there needs to be a reason. Because what will happen is like I'll give you all the training in the world, but you're not going to be motivated to do it because you don't know why. So if you
yeah.
really did think, and you like and take a minute, like picture it like internally. When you talk about you being able to double your income, how do you see your life actually being different like than it is right now?
Oh, probably get a new car. Uh, have more for
Okay.
a down payment on a house. Trying to
Okay.
move into, and
Yeah.
it'll be easier to pay off the
Yeah.
training I already invested into too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Right. And like and reinvesting and training, like it's always good. But when you say like a new car, right? It's like, are you a car guy?
uh yeah, I mean my dad was more a car guy, but I
Yeah.
know a thing or two.
Yeah. So what type of car like for you as far as like you have that type of money coming in? Like what type of car are we actually looking at?
Dude, if I can get one of those 2024 Stingray Corvettes, like the blue ones with the
Oh
brown
wow.
interior,
Okay.
that'd be nice.
Not I like it, man. It's like why that car?
That's always just been like a dream, man, to have like a Corvette. They're just like I know people
Yeah.
call them the cheaper supercars, but they're just nice, man. And just for me, that
Yeah.
always just looked like success.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, I get it. Like it means something more than just like, the nuts and the bolts.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I know you also mentioned like, like down payment for a house. Are you looking for a house?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of found a house, but
Okay.
you know, that's why I was trying to
So
hurry up and
so
pay things
so
off.
yeah, so why get a new house?
Oh well, I mean, always want to keep getting something bigger, and me and the wife, which they want to
Yeah.
start a family, so
Oh, okay.
makes sense to
So
actually
kind
have
of
a
like
house.
your future like forever home type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'd say it's a good start, right?
Okay. No, I get it, man. So you've been able to get that, I guess, like starter home in place and get the actual dream car. Like what does that actually do for you personally?
I just feel successful, like I
Yeah.
achieved what I said I could do.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. And when you say successful, right? Because like that can mean like something a little bit different to everyone. So I guess for you, where does that drive come from to be successful? Or like why is it so important to you?
Um, it's a good question. I don't really know.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I mean, if you sat and you thought about it.
well, thought about it.
Mm.
Maybe just because I grew up always
Yeah.
seeing other people successful, and just
Yeah.
my parents told me is like you could be whatever you want. So
Yeah.
just didn't want to be one of
Yeah,
those
man.
kids who
Yeah.
never really did anything with their lives after high school.
Mm. No, and I get
So
that, man, because like I've been in your shoes and I can respect that. So you being able to prove not only your parents right, but prove yourself right. Let's just talk about like you being able to get that Stingray, blue Corvette, drive that off the lot, wind blowing
Hmm.
in the air, in the hair, sun on the face. Like at that moment, being able to drive off the lot with that car. Like how would that actually feel?
Feel great, man. Feel really, really
Yeah.
good.
Would it?
Yeah, yeah. Feel amazing.
Yeah, man. But I do have to ask, like on my end, like with what you are currently doing right now, with just the way that you're learning, the speed of what you're learning, and really the results you're getting, how likely is it you're going to be able to buy that dream car, but also get the home and really prove to yourself and everyone that you're that success?
Well, I feel like I'm on the right track now since I've joined pro, now that I'm getting better
Yeah.
results. So I feel like
And
I'm on the right
being
path.
being on the right path is like one thing, right? But how likely do you feel like we are to actually achieve and get to that level where we can be that guy who's driving that Blu-ray or the Stingray and has that how?
I don't know, maybe like a year away. Let's say a year and a half. If I keep going up from here, and I don't
Yeah.
know. Might
Can I
take a
make a
little,
suggestion?
might take a little bit longer, you know,
Yeah.
with the portal, but just before I invest in anything else, like,
Okay. Can I make a suggestion, man?
yeah,
So we're talking about like, and again, like we can always like hope that like we get there. It just comes down to like oftentimes if we're doing something and then we're hoping for a different result. Like
yeah.
what do people typically call that?
Um, Insanity.
Yeah. So I don't want to call you insane, but if we keep on doing the same thing, like how likely is it? And we just hope and we pray that our income's just gonna double.
Mm,
And be
no,
real.
yeah, probably would.
Yeah.
I don't. It definitely won't happen as soon as I'd like it to, for sure.
Yeah. Well, to be frank, do you think like there's a possibility it not even happen at all?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
So I have to ask, what happens if it doesn't? We keep doing what we're doing now. We continue to be that 10,000 per month guy,
Yeah,
but we never do the things that are required to break out of that so we can have that level of success that we know we should.
that's just gonna suck, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's like tons of people like live life and it's it's sucky, but it's like for you, like you not living up to that dream, to that success. What would the actual day-to-day impact of that be?
I don't know. Just question if I can even do what I say I can do. You know,
Like,
just
and I get
not
that,
feel
man.
as successful as I could.
Yeah. So are you willing to allow that to happen?
No.
Okay, man. Because like just with anything, as I'm sure you're aware, there's no magic pill when it comes to getting to the next level. It's just really about doing the things that are required, like making sure it's the commitment that we're going to do whatever it takes to get to that level. So it just comes down to like, are you actually committed to make sure we get out of the person we have been to get to the person who we need to be?
Yeah. Can you say that last part again?
What? Just repeat it.
Can you say that last part again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was in flow. Uh,
I'll watch the recording. But yeah, I'm committed to being that person, that guy.
but why now though? Because like every good diet, like it starts on Monday. We can always be that guy who's like slow and steady and just hopefully I get there. So like why actually do anything about it?
Well, it's important to get to my goals sooner rather than later. So,
Okay, man. I mean, because based off what you're telling me, especially when you're talking about X, Y, and Z, I feel like what we're doing would definitely work, right? Then you just go into it.
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. That one piece though, I didn't fully catch that you said as you
Like, are
transitioned
you
into
willing to
commitment.
stop or get out of, stop being the person you have been and actually step into the person who you need to be to get to the level of success? So I wanted
Is that
to
considered
like,
commitment? Was that a commitment
yeah,
question?
it's like a commitment question.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, I wanted like success was like a big one, that big word that kept on coming about. Um, so I want to really anchor that.
Okay. Yeah.
And also
Uh,
as well, if you notice, if like those big, like if words like that continue to like come up, if you notice, I asked like, where does that drive come from?
that was one of the, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Right. You got behind what I call drive, what I thought
Yeah,
drive is. So you want to understand what is driving the bus.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
where does that drive come from? And 95% of the time they're gonna say it's come from something in their childhood,
Oh,
right? Or something in their like upbringing, which is just going to be what it's just going to be an emotional anchor that's very strong.
okay.
Like it's
If
a
a, cou-
lifelong dream that they're wanting to get to.
they've always wanted since they were a kid, their mom, their dad, something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now,
it's
is
like that
that
Stingray isn't just a cool car. It's you
means more?
proving to yourself and to your parents and to yourself that you can make something.
Mm. Yeah. It's a symbolism of
Yeah.
what I put into it. It's my
And
symbol
then
of
I
what I
wanted to
consider
make
success.
it and then I wanted to make it very visual, right?
The
Of like
wind in
how
my
that would feel.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
How would that feel? I noticed that. I was like, that's clever.
And it's
So,
really hard for you to not just sit and think about, like, you not create that image in your brain.
mm.
It's really hard not to.
Yeah, because I feel the wind in my face. I feel the vibration
Yeah.
of the car as I'm driving it. Yeah.